Dear Jesus, please let me be your mouthpiece today. Let the words that these ladies need to hear come out like a fiery, rushing wind. Let them be ready to hear what you have to say to them. Let me be ready to hear what you have to say to me. And let us be there for each other through this weekend as a sisterhood, Lord. All the glory to you in your name for everything you have done for us, everything you are doing for us, and everything you will do for us. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, I'm jumping right in. So let's go to Joshua, the book of Joshua. They said I should give a title to the sermon. I guess that's what people do. So I said, okay, that's fine. I will merge my 2 points and make a title. So if you're a teacher's pet, you'll probably already know what my 2 points will be then. Well, kind of. We'll see. So the title of my sermon today is Faithful Surrender. And we're opening up to Joshua 1. I'm not going to have you read Joshua 1. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a rundown of it because that's what I felt like doing with that one. So Joshua 1 kind of jumps in, and Moses, he straight up died. And he died, and then God speaks to Joshua, a.k.a. the book of Joshua, right? So he speaks to Joshua and says, hey, Joshua, you're the new leader. And you're going to lead the people into the promised land. Da-dun-dun, da-dun-dun, da-dun-dun. At this time, I'm giving you the summary of Joshua 1. At this time, I am reminded that the Israelites are going to have quite the journey. And there's going to be a couple key points in their journey that they will have. And one of them is going to be decided on really, it's going to depend on what a prostitute decides to do. Does she decide to step out in faith or go with the flow? So let's go to Joshua 2:1, because you just got the summary of Joshua 1. We kind of know what's going on. We set the tone. We set the stage. So Joshua 2:1, I'm going to just read it for y'all and throw in my own little spice on it. Oh, you're cute in the back. Okay, you got it up on the screens. Maybe I'll get to dance while I'm reading to them. Stop. Okay. All right. So, and it's NLT too. Stop. Oh, girl. Got a ring? I'll give you one. Then Joshua secretly sent out 2 spies from the Israelite camp, and at Acadia, I may have said that wrong, but Acacia, thank you. Brownie points to all of you. If you didn't know how to say it right, you can open up your Bible app and you can hit play. And this dude, he will straight up tell you how to say it. So you don't need to go to Bible college if you don't have the time or the money for it. Acacia Grove, he instructed them, scout out the land on the other side of the Jordan River, especially around Jericho. So the 2 men set out and came to the house of a prostitute named Rahab, my girl for the day, okay? Rahab, and stayed there that night, but someone snitched, bro. They straight up snitched, okay? I don't think they got stitches yet. So they straight up snitched, and they said, someone told the king of Jericho, some Israelites have come here. Oh, yeah, I'm not that quick. Sorry. Nah, it's all good. I graduated, just barely. Some Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king, okay, so the rats, they came up, they told up the king, hey, yo, So the king then sent orders to Rahab. Okay. Rahab's coming in, Rahab, bring out the men who have come into, so, king's talking to Rahab, bring out the men who have come into your house, for they have come here to spy out the whole land. Rahab had hidden 2 men, but she replied, she's such a G, gangster. Okay, wait, let's PG. She is loyal. She's awesome, okay? So, yeah, sorry, I'm like, ooh, my slang. Okay, but she replied, yes. The men, they were here earlier, but I didn't know where they were from. They left the town at dusk, as the gates, they were about to close. I don't know where they went. If you hurry, you can catch up with them. Side note, she actually had taken them up to the roof and hidden them beneath bundles of flax she had laid out. Like I said, this girl, she's loyal for the right team. Okay? So, the king's men went out looking for the spies along the road, leading to the shallow crossing of the Jordan River. And as soon as the king's men had left, the gate of Jericho was shut. Before the spies went to sleep that night, Rahab went up on the roof to talk with them. This is a motivated woman, apparently. She knows, I don't know if she was motivated in that moment or if she just knew that life is hitting me and I'm not going to just go with the flow. I have a decision to make, and maybe she didn't even know how big of a decision and impact this is going to have. Let's see how big of a decision and impact this does have. So Rahab went up to the roof to talk with them. I know the Lord, she's saying, I know the Lord has given you this land, she told them. It's a bold statement, girl. We are all afraid of you. Everyone in the land is living in terror, for we have heard how the Lord has made a dry path for you through the Red Sea when you left Egypt, and we know what you did to Sihon. Thank you. Sihon, right? I think that's what I heard when I listened today to double check. And Og. I got that one. The 2 Amorite, why I can get Amorite, don't ask me. Amorite kings east of the Jordan River, whose people you completely destroyed. So it's going around town like these dudes. They clean in house. So no wonder our hearts have melted in fear. No one has the courage to fight after hearing such things, for the Lord your God is the supreme God of the heavens above and the earth below. I'm going to read that one more time. So she says, she's telling them on her turf, right? For the Lord your God is the supreme God of the heavens above the earth, above and below the earth. Yeah, it's worded weird. My opinion's not factual. Swear to me, again, this girl, love her. Swear to me by the Lord that you will be kind to me and my family, since I have helped you. Give me some guarantee that when Jericho is conquered, you will let me live along with my father. Again, the loyalty. Not just worried about herself, realizing there's other people in our lives that we impact. Along with my father and my mother. Dude, she even got her siblings. I would get you, don't worry. My brothers and sisters and all their families. we offer our own lives as a guarantee for your safety. The men agreed. If you don't betray us, again, like there's this trust and different sides. There's some things going on at play here. If you don't betray us, we will keep our promise and be kind to you when the Lord gives us the land. Then, since Rahab's house was built into the town wall, she let them down by a rope through the window. I'm going to kind of speed things up to get us through the reading. Cool? Okay, so escape to the hill country, she told them. Hide there for 3 days from the men searching for you. Then when they have returned, you can go on your way. Before they left, the man told her, we will be bound by the oath we have taken only if you follow these instructions. So there's some things she has to pay attention, like she's like, this is kind of a big deal, life or death over here, right? And it's not like, she was like the kindergarten teacher or anything, It's not the chick you would have pegged out in the line and been like, oh yeah, she's going to get us through. She's going to be the one to stake lives on, Okay, so we will be bound by oath. We have taken only if you follow these instructions. When we come into the land, you must leave this scarlet rope hanging from the window through which you let us down. And if you do that, hey, all your family members, your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your relatives must be here inside the house. If they go out, dead. If they go out into the streets and are killed, it will not be our fault. It's not my bad, man. They went out. It's not on me. But if anyone lays a hand on people inside this house, we will accept the responsibility for their death. If you betray us, however, we are not bound by this oath in any way. I accept your terms, she replies. And she sent them on their way, leaving the scarlet rope hanging from the window. The spies went up into the hill and stayed there 3 days. The men who were chasing them searched everywhere along the road, but they finally returned without success. Then the 2 spies came down from the hill country, crossed the Jordan River, and reported to Joshua, aka the leader at the time, right? All of what happened to them. The Lord has given us this whole land, they said, for all the people in the land are terrified of us. So the 2 spies got the T. T slang means all the info, okay? Got all the info from Rahab and then gave it back to Joshua, which is really a big game changer. So now I'm going to kind of summarize like a couple other chapters and get through my main point, or get to my main point. I'm going to tell you like the story and then give you my points after, because I feel like my points will make more sense when you know like the whole story. Kind of helps. Okay, so in a couple, like the next chapters of Joshua, they make some piles of stones. It's really cool. You should read about it. Sorry if I'm making slang terms of like some really important things, but I'm just rolling with it. They cross the dry Jordan River. They kind of have like this little Red Sea moment in a way, but with the Ark of the Covenant, which is really cool. So if you don't know about that, read later on your own time. And then they have this moment with like the commander of the Lord's army, which is cool. And then, of course, the thing that we've been building up to. Don't cancel my sermon. Sorry, when you shake your iPhone, it does that. Okay, they walk around Jericho, right? Okay, so I'm leading up to, they're walking around Jericho, and I'm going to pick up in Joshua 6:15. So chapter 6, verse 15 through 17. So on the 7th day, I kind of gave you a summary of the first 6. You're welcome. On the 7th day, the Israelites got up at dawn and marched around the town, as they had done before. But this time, they went around the town 7 times. And the 7th time around, as the priests sounded the long blasts on their horns, Joshua commanded the people, shout, for the Lord has given you the town, Jericho, and everything in it must be completely destroyed as an offering to the Lord. Only Rahab, the prostitute, and the others in her house will be spared, for she protected our spies. I don't know if Rahab knew when she was talking to those spies and giving them the information that she was going to change not only her own life, but her family's life. She later on goes, I have a different verse in Joshua 6:23 that talks a little bit about where she goes from there. I might not even go to it because I've read so much to you guys. You guys have been great. But basically, can you go to 25? 6:25? You tempted me now. Thanks. I'm good. That's fine. Basically, she eventually gets to go be with the Israelites. So she leaves prostitution, saves her entire family, and then goes with the Israelites. Avoids all of the chaos of the life that maybe she fell into or maybe she chose. How many of us have chosen chaos or have fallen into it? And all we need to do is follow out the walk that God's literally putting in front of us and take that first step of boldness and choose that for us. Not just changing our lives, but changing our families' lives and the people around us. I don't know if Rahab thought of it like that. I really don't know if when she, did the right thing, I honestly kind of wonder, was Rahab just like doing what she knew to be the right thing? And then all of a sudden it just turned into, I get to live, my family gets to live, and Jericho's like destroyed. Like sometimes doing the right thing that God asks us every day, those little things, can completely change our lives and our family's lives. But it still takes our decision and our choice to step out in boldness, to maybe create that pattern or to create that habit, that healthy habit that maybe you're avoiding. Maybe it is time in the Word. Maybe it is worship time. Maybe it is removing something that is like toxic in your life. Whether that can be so many different things. I couldn't tell you, because I don't know your life, but I can tell you, Rahab's just, because she was a prostitute, it's kind of a given. We can make guesses and assumptions on some of the things that were weighing her down. And I love that Rahab would be someone who we might not have looked out on the street and thought, she's going to help make the way for the Israelites to go to the promised land. Like, I love the fact that she was someone who we might have prejudged. What if we wouldn't have invited a Rahab to church? What if we wouldn't have made room for her here? What if there's a Rahab somewhere that needs to be here and we need to make room for them, right? I just think of love Rahab. Let me get to my points. I could gush about Rahab. Okay, my point number 1, which I've probably already made, is act in faith. Rahab took a step of faith by, 1, hoping that no one rats her out to the king and her head doesn't get chopped off, because she totally told the king, like, yeah, those guys, like, they left, Doodle-doo. No big deal, king. So Rahab didn't run away from her situation. She saw what she needed to do for her family and took that step out of faith. Hebrews 11:31 says, it was by faith that Rahab, the prostitute, was not destroyed with the people in her city who refused to obey God, for she had given a friendly welcome to the spies. Again, she's stepping out in faith. What is the thing that you need to step out in faith today? Sometimes taking a step of faith is also being bold. I know this conference is centered around being bold as a lion. What is that step? What is that thing that you need to just, okay, God, I know you said do this. I'm not going to be thinking about the what ifs. I'm not going to think about all the ways this could go wrong. Because Rahab, she could have easily been like, someone could tell this person and that, and what if they see? And she could have been thinking about all the what ifs for so long and been crippled by the anxiety of it all that she never took that step. Never did it. So that's my first point. My second point is to choose boldness. Sorry, it's surrender. One word. Making it easy, people. Make it easy. Surrender's the point. So surrendering, what is the thing that could be holding back? Say you have faith. Say you're like, yeah, Stephanie, I know like the step that like I'm supposed to do, but like, there's this thing that's kind of in the way, and like I don't really feel like surrendering it. Like I like it. I want to keep it in my life, okay? Don't feel like surrendering it. It's mine. I give enough up of my time, my life. That thing's mine, and I don't want to give it up. Well, that's up to you, boo. That's up to you. That's your life, But is it not only holding you back, but maybe also the people around you or your family? See, there were times where changing for just me wasn't enough. But when I saw the impact that I could have around people around me, that's when I was like, oh, it's so much easier when it's just me. The problem is it's never just you. You all have a purpose. You might not be Joshua, the leader, Steve Hunt, the pastor. But what if you're Rahab, the person who makes way for Joshua to come in and win the battle? You are just as important. You are just as needed. And I want to encourage everyone of that. When it comes to surrender, she stated she knew God was the true God. She did that by her actions, verbally. Are our actions showing, God, you are the true God? Does our lifestyle reflect that? Believe me, I'm preaching to myself just as much as y'all. So, no need to put this up on the screen, but Joshua 2:11, as a reminder, she said, and I paused during when I was reading it, she said, for the Lord your God is the supreme God of the heavens above and the earth below. I feel like when I read that and she's saying that, I feel it when she's reading it. I want people, when they see me, when they interact with me, I want them to feel God. I want them to be loved. I want them to just feel as though they have a home. Because a lot of us, we know what it's like to not live with a home. Maybe you have one, but it does not feel like one at times. Who are you supposed to be so someone has a home? If you choose to be bold and step out in faith and choose to surrender the things, who is God going to put on your path that you get to make feel like they have a home, that they have a place, that they're not alone? She had to trust God and that the people were going to keep their word. When you take that step of faith and you choose to surrender, you also got to trust. So when something goes wrong, as it maybe will for sure, is it ultimately going wrong according to your plan? Because your plan's not the right plan, is it? So is it really going wrong to his plan? Just a thought. She trusted and surrendered her fate to God. I want to try to live a life to the best of my ability to where my life is surrendered to God. Now, that's really hard. That's a big statement. But you know what I can do? I can take a step. Just one step. And I know tomorrow, I think I could take another. Just another. And that's how I am here today. Because it took me a long time. I was like, I'm way over there. There's no way I'm getting over here. I don't know. No, not happening. So that is I was going to say, I have a thought, actually, another thought. I always have thoughts. Rahab was doing the right thing, which turned into being a defining moment in her life. I want to know here today, who wants to take that step that might turn into being a defining moment? But I might even say, defining moments are stressful. So maybe if we don't say defining moment, who just wants to take that step to where, hey, I don't know if I can do that defining moment thing. That's like a lot. But I can take a step today. I could take one step. Like, I could be bold. It might not look like a lion. But I can take a step. So when I'm talking about taking a step, I would love for you all to just kind of take a deep breath, relax, don't stress. For those of you who do want this weekend to be something, maybe it's not the stressful, mind-boggling thing, but you just know, hey, God's had something on my heart for a bit, and maybe it's a big thing, maybe it's a little thing. If you want to take out a step of faith, if there's something you need to surrender to God, if there's something you need to eject out of your life, then there, might still be there with different things. There's always something I feel like we can remove and replace with God. Maybe it's a little less of something and more of Him. If that applies to you, I would love for us to just pray over you. Because prayer is a blessing. It is a blessing to be prayed over. It is not a time of, hey, red flag, I'm waving it. It is a time to say, I am here. Let's come together and support each other. Let's check in. I do it all the time with my bestie boo over there. We check in. She knows when I go dark, she's like, ooh, gotta check in. So, if there is something that is on your heart that you want to take a step out of faith, if there's something you want to surrender, something you want to give up, something that's holding you or your family back, maybe it's having a conversation with someone who's difficult. Maybe it is seeing someone the way God sees them. That can be hard sometimes. It can be really hard. Maybe it's, I got to have a I'm sorry conversation. And I don't like those, even though I'm a grown adult, because those are hard. Maybe it's a I forgive you conversation. Those ones are deep. Those ones are really, really hard. If any of those things apply to you, I would love to just invite you up here, join me, and just worship and pray for those things that we need breakthrough for. I also hope that this would be a time where if you want to really break through in this conference, this is a good time to start. You don't want to wait. So